iHeart, get ready. Fantasy football is here. Welcome to the Scout Fantasy Show. ScoutFantasy.com is home to the Fantasy Football World Championships and the best players in the world. Real money winners giving their secrets to help you win. Now exclusively on iHeart. This is the Scout Fantasy Show with your host, the one, the only, Dr. Roto.
Dr. Roto, get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. Let's do the Hot Takes podcast for week number 14. First of all, I just have to talk about Carson Wentz. I was so upset. I don't know whether it happened on that play where he ran into the end zone, and I remember thinking, oh my God, please don't be hurt. Just get up, just get up. And then I thought to myself, touchdown, great, and then they called it back. And I'm thinking, oh my God, it didn't shock me. It was a bad hit. And to lose him at this point of the season is so deflating for fantasy owners, for Eagle fans, for everything. And it goes to show you two things. One, you have to have a good backup, whether it's in fantasy or in reality. Nick Foles is okay. Nick Foles is fine. He's not special by any means. But I don't think Nick Foles takes you to the promised land. Right? He doesn't get you to the Super Bowl. Maybe he beats the Giants, maybe he beats the Raiders, maybe he beats the Cowboys, but I don't know whether he's beating the Vikings. I'm just telling you that right now. And fantasy owners, Carson Wentz, I have two teams that are really doing well in the online championship, and Carson Wentz was the quarterback of one of them. I've got DeShone Kizer at this point. That's right, I have DeShone Kizer on that team. He plays the Ravens and the Bears. I don't know. I think my chances for 50K went down a toilet bowl. You know, we always say you don't need two good quarterbacks. Maybe you do. Maybe you do need two good quarterbacks. Because I'll tell you this, I can't win with DeShone Kizer. I can't. Had a great team, made a great run, probably going to win my league, but I don't think I can win it all because I don't have Carson Wentz. I have DeShone Kizer to get me through 2 weeks. Tough. Very tough. So I am so sorry for fantasy owners. I'm sorry to Eagles fans. I'm sorry to football fans. Look, I can't stand the Eagles, but I love Carson Wentz. I can't stand the Eagles. As someone who grew up rooting for the Giants, told you I'm no longer a Giant fan right now. I can't root for the Eagles, but I can root for Carson Wentz. This is a special player. All right, so that's one thing. Second, Tom Savage. Oh my God. You can say what you want about Tom Savage. You can tell me anything you want. But you can't tell me he's not gutsy. You can't tell me that guy doesn't have guts. He may have more guts than brains. He took a shot. His hands are trembling. He's spitting blood, but he wants to play. God bless him. He's out of his mind, but God bless him. Now look, here's good news. Here's good news and bad news. TJ Yates doesn't suck. He doesn't suck. But next week is bad. Playing the Jaguars, bad. You have DeAndre Hopkins right now, you're in a little bit of trouble. I know I have Hopkins in a couple of leagues. I need him to be big next week. Let's put it this way. Next week, I need him not to kill me. If he could just get me 15 points, I'll take it. I don't need 45, but I need 15. Because if I don't get 15 from him, I'm in big trouble. Speaking of big trouble, that was such a disgusting display in the Seahawks Jaguar game. Awful. First of all, I don't know whether it began with Jalen Ramsey, but Jalen Ramsey's a slime ball. All right? I'm not saying he's not a good player, but man, that guy's touchy-feely. That guy had his hands all over the Seattle receiver. I get it. It was a bad non-call. That said, what Michael Bennett did wasn't any better. He went blatantly trying to hurt somebody, and Leonard Fournette saw it and went crazy. Then they settled it up, and then the next play, that guy was Richardson or something like that, gets himself ejected. Richardson or Jefferson, I can't remember. Then the Jaguar fans start throwing beers at this guy. Well, look, there's never a good time for fans to get involved that way. Right? People like that should not be allowed into a stadium. That I have a problem with. You may not like what they did. Call the guy a jerk. Drop some 4 little bombs. I'm okay with that. Don't be throwing things at him. Nothing worse than that for me. Show some class. Show a little class. Because they had none in Jacksonville yesterday. The big win that got sullied by really bad sportsmanship. All right, let's take a look at the week that was here. Dallas and the Giants. Dak Prescott. I could not have been any more wrong about Dak Prescott. I didn't think he was going to have a big game, but the truth of the matter is maybe I wasn't as wrong as I think I am. He had some big plays. Who expected these big plays? 50 yards from Bryant, 54 from Beasley, 81 from Rod Smith. Are you kidding me? Who saw those coming? And the Giants are just a train wreck. Sterling Shepard, I told people not to play him. 2 for 16. 2 for 16. I thought Ingram would have done a whole lot better. He didn't. But the Giants are just really bad. Really bad. Colts, Bills. Why? Look, could there have been worse weather in a game? When you've got weather like that, guys can still run the football because nobody gets traction. LaShawn McCoy, 156 yards and a touchdown. Frank Gore, 130 yards. These are great games. Now, the receivers, bad. But I'm not benching a running back in the snow. By the way, I feel very badly for Nathan Peterman. He had a touchdown pass, and then 2 plays later got himself whacked. I don't know if he's going to be back anytime soon. That was a big shot. Well, I didn't listen to my own rule. My own rule was never bench your studs. I benched Jordan Howard and Russell Wilson in the leagues. I played Jimmy Garoppolo in a league. I mean, that was a good start, but Wilson did play great. Still would have won that league if I had Wilson. And I benched Jordan Howard. I'm so upset at myself. And I benched Tariq Cohen. I didn't think that the Bengals were going to lay up like that. Mitchell Trubisky, Howard, Cohen, Wright, they were firing all cylinders. Let me share this with you. Marvin Lewis needs to be fired. Andy Dalton stinks. 14 for 29, 141 yards. Are you kidding me? AJ Green didn't do enough. I mean, you just played them right into the Bears' hands. I don't think John Fox is very good either. I think that guy deserves to be whacked too. But at least they showed up and played. Say what you will about a John Fox team, they showed up and played. All right, Green Bay and Cleveland. Kaiser was all right, but Isaiah Crowell played well. I liked Crowell in this matchup. I didn't play him in DFS, but I thought about him. Duke Johnson, had the touchdown reception. What I was more pleased to see was Josh Gordon 6 targets, Corey Coleman 6 targets, Duke Johnson 4. I wanted to see them spread it around. That was good. I don't know how the Packers got so lucky and won that game. Brett Hundley made some plays. They couldn't sack him. They could barely find him. He was just elusive. He was elusive. I don't think the Packers are really that good. But Devontae Adams played great. Jamal Williams played great. And they're hanging on by a thread. So say what you will. They are doing just enough to possibly make the playoffs. And yes, I absolutely believe that Aaron Rodgers will be playing this week. 100% on that. 100%. I believe we see Aaron Rodgers. Kansas City at Oakland. So a good friend of mine asked me whether or not he should start Derek Carr or Josh McCown. And I go, I think Derek Carr. And then in the first half, I go, I'm so sorry I said that to you. Turns out McCown was worse, but who knew? I mean, this was terrible. Crabtree did nothing. I mean, Jared Cook was okay. Marshawn Lynch. This was awful. The Chiefs looked great. Kareem Hunt had 116 yards and a touchdown. Travis Kelce was 7 for 74, but he could have done even more. He was on the 1 yard line on one play, and then he just didn't make a catch on another play. He could have had 2 touchdowns. But the Raiders looked terrible. Really terrible. Here's another guy who needs to get fired. Dirk Cutter. F-I-R-E-D. Fired. You play Doug Martin over Peyton Barber. Why? Why do you do that? Why? Doug Martin's terrible. Peyton Barber at least has juice. Barber had 12 carries. Martin had 10. I want Peyton Barber with 20 carries. Chris Godwin is a great little receiver. Mike Evans has been such a monumental disappointment. Monumental. This has been the most disappointing team I've ever seen. And Gerald McCoy is going to be out with a torn bicep. Good luck next week. You know who Tampa has next week? The Falcons, then the Panthers. Giddy up. Giddy up. Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, book it. Book it. I said Golden Tate was going to be good. He was good. Ebron was sensational. I told you Matthew Stafford. Remember I said that a lot of people wouldn't play him because of the injury. I wasn't one of those guys. I was absolutely playing him, and he paid off. Vikings and Panthers. If the Vikings want to win and win a Super Bowl, you better learn how to stop Jonathan Stewart. 36 carries, 216 yards. You can't let that happen. You can't let that happen. You have to stop the run. Now, Cam Newton didn't even need to do anything. Not that Cam Newton's very good. He made that one lucky play to Devin Funchess. Outside the one lucky play to Devin Funchess, Cam Newton did nothing. But he did enough to win. Right? Did enough to win. Case Keenum tried his best, but it just wasn't good enough. You have to stop the run. How many people out there had Jonathan Stewart and played him? If you did, you're smarter than I am. Much smarter. If you're the 49ers, are you upset that you've won the last 2 weeks? Jimmy G, baby, winning it. Winning. 20 for 33, 334 yards and a touchdown. Looks great. Marquise Goodwin looks great. I was a little shocked that Trent Taylor didn't do well. But Hyde looked good. Jimmy G looked good. Goodwin looked good. Selleck looked good. Juszczyk looked good. I was happy. The Texans, I told you, I feel very badly for Tom Savage. TJ Yates did an exceptional job. DeAndre Hopkins was a beast of epic proportions. Will Fuller did nothing. Steven Anderson disappointed people. Lamar Miller was Lamar Miller. Lamar Miller. That's how bad it was. Terrible. Speaking of terrible, the Jets-Broncos. I had a feeling about Demaryius Thomas. I even wrote him down on a sheet of paper. I'm like, Demaryius Thomas. Because the Jets' pass defense hasn't been very good recently. The Jets did a great job in the beginning of the year. They really did. All credit to the Jets. Now they're slowing up. So the next 2 weeks, the Jets have the Saints and Chargers. OMG. I'm starting Breeze. I'm starting Rivers. I'm getting them in. Josh McCown has a broken left hand. Who knows if he's going to play or not? There was no running game to speak of. Robbie Anderson killed me. Bilal Powell killed me. They all killed me. One good player in this entire game, and his name was Demaryius Thomas. Outside of that, nobody in this game was fantasy worthy. That is embarrassing. Here's another embarrassing game. Titans-Cardinals. Who can understand the Titans? Really? 7 point? You can't let the Cardinals get 12 points? You can't get more offense than this? Give the ball to Derrick Henry. This is embarrassing. Mariota, 159 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks. Oh my God. If you're starting him in fantasy, you are delusional. Delusional. God does nothing. Terrible. Larry Fitzgerald killed teams, including myself. Ricky Seals-Jones was terrible. It was a terrible game. There's nobody out there worth starting. Nobody. Maybe Derrick Henry. I just want to see Derrick Henry play. What am I asking for in life? Redskins and Chargers. The Chargers look like they're playing on another level right now. Melvin Gordon, Keenan Allen, Hunter Henry, Phillip Rivers. Load them up. Boom. Load them up. In the next 2 weeks, they've got the Chiefs and the Jets. Hello. Phillip, those guys may win somebody a fantasy championship. I'm telling you that right now. For Washington, they're done. Stick a fork in them, they're done. They got nothing going on. Maybe it's true that they played the Chargers. I get that, but I think Washington has given up. Sad to say, but I think they've given up. All right, the Eagles-Rams. This was a really good game until Wentz got hurt. Ajayi played well. I expected him to. I said he was going to be good. Torrey Smith looked fantastic. Trey Burton, I benched him in a league. He was fantastic. No Zach Ertz, didn't matter. But I'll tell you this. I think the key to this game was Philadelphia's defense in the second half. Jared Goff did nothing. He looked skittish. He couldn't find anybody. Nobody. The return of Robert Woods is key to this team. Key. Because I'm telling you, Jared Goff looks skittish. Now, I know they lost a couple of offensive linemen. They did. But, man, he looked bad out there. Gurley looked tremendous. Cooper Kupp looked tremendous. Tremendous. All right, the Seahawks Jaguars. I benched Russell Wilson in the league. I know I did. But going into the halftime, you would have thought I was a genius. He's just a great second half player. Lockett, Baldwin, Richardson, just throwing deep. I think the Jaguars gave up. I did. I love how D.D. Westbrook played. Fournette played very well. Blake Bortles played well. I give them a lot of credit. Jaguars really worked this game, and then they got stupid at the end. But I thought the Seahawks did a good job there at the end. I think if these two teams played again, I'd put my money on the Seahawks. And then the craziest game ever. The Steelers beat the Ravens 39-38. Who had the 9-8 in the box there? Ben Roethlisberger, 506 yards and 2 touchdowns. Lev Bell, 48 yards and 2 touchdowns. Antonio Brown, 11 for 213. Jesse James, 10 for 97. Do you know that I had to bench Zach Ertz yesterday in the league, and I played Jesse James? Oh, baby, loving that. Alex Collins looked great. But let me share this. When Pittsburgh lost Joe Hayden, it was bad. Now without Shazier, it's ugly. It's ugly. The Ravens played very well. Ravens deserve to win that game. I'm just saying to you right now, Pittsburgh's got, against New England, whoa. Let the love flow in that one. All right, let's look at tonight's game. Let's see. Tom Brady, what is there to say about Tom Brady? You start him. He's Tom Brady. I like Rex Burkhead tonight. I like James White to surprise tonight. I haven't played him a while. I think he may get some action. Love Brandon Cooks tonight. Love him. I believe Chris Hogan will play, but only a few snaps. I would not use him. I like Danny Amendola. I would not use Dwayne Allen. So I'll use Brady, Burkhead, Cooks, Amendola without question. James White, I just feel we haven't seen a lot of recently, right? We haven't seen him a lot recently. And I think this is a time of year when we start to see a little rotation. Lewis, Burkhead, White, make sure all those guys get involved. This is a good game to get James White in because I want to play Dion Lewis next week against Pittsburgh. So I just have a sneaky sensation that we see White get a little bit involved here. All right, that's for the Patriots. For Miami, there's Jay Cutler and Kenyon Drake, who I love. Love Kenyon Drake. Landry, Parker, and Stills. I won't play Julius Thomas. Maybe Devontae Parker does something. They need to get this guy involved. They just need to get this guy involved. I think if I am Bill Belichick, I'm stopping Jarvis Landry. I'm making Cutler go to Parker. I'm forcing it to Parker, and then I don't really care about Drake because I know that I'm better than the Drake. All right, so it should be an interesting game. If you need tonight's game, and I know I do in a couple of games, I wish you the best of luck. I do. I wish you the best of luck, and I hope it works out for you. But right now it's time to put away the insurance cards, put away the copay. The office is closed, my friends. If you're not a member of ScoutDFS.com, you are missing our rankings. They had Stafford, high. Jimmy G, high. Kaiser, high. Kelsey, high. We were giving away a lot of plays. Check that out at ScoutDFS.com. And of course, ScoutFantasy.com, where we're answering your questions. I felt great that we were in the message boards yesterday. Me, Ronis, Sean Childs, answering people's questions, helping you win fantasy championships. All right, guys, back tomorrow. Minding the box scores for Fantasy Gold. Wishing you a great day. Be well. Take care.
Thanks for listening to the Scout Fantasy Show. There's never been a better time to join the Scout Army. Visit ScoutFantasy.com. Use the promo ROTO for 2 months free. And don't forget, fantasy players, please thumbs up the podcast on the iHeart app. See you next time. Go Scouts!